the Chinese supported us, and the Russians. We kicked the Portuguese out of Mozambique. We kicked them out of Angola. We kicked them out of Guinea-Bissau. We even liberated Portugal itself from fascism. Wait, let me tell you. This is a free lesson of history. No tuition. You don't have to pay tuition. So, this is the history of Africa and China. It's not a new history. Even when China was still very low in terms of economic development, but because of ideological, they supported us.
So you say China?
Just hold on. So now that China has become a richer country, they have now upscaled their. Maybe I can give you some example. In 1964, Zhou Enlai, the Prime Minister of China that time, visited Tanzania, your former colony, and pledged to build a railway line from Tanzania up to Zambia. It was called Tazara. And they built it. They were still backward economically. They were not very, very, very rich, but they built it, the Chinese. So now that they are much richer, they are upscaling our cooperation with them, which was originally political, diplomatic. Of course, we were also supporting China in the UN because the Western countries had kept China out of the UN, out of the Security Council. So we were supporting them to come to the Security Council. So therefore, the cooperation between China and even Russia with Africa is not new at all. It is historical. It started with the anti-colonial struggle. Now it has blossomed into economic cooperation. But you hear the question you're asking, it means you don't know the history of Africa. You don't know that we have been working with the Chinese all this time. You think that we have just started. We haven't.
So, but when I understand you right, you feel like China in some way is a more sincere partner than the Europeans. They have been better friends in the past.
At least for now. They may change also. They may change and become parasitic. But for now, they have been sincere because they were helping us, even when we were not giving them anything in return. That time. But I think maybe they were hoping for friends, and we are now friends.
Because some would say the Chinese are now the new colonial rulers and they exploit Africa for their own purpose.
No, not at all. If they become that, then they will be hated like you people. You were hated. We had to throw you out. If they become that, and that's why we need to strengthen. It's true. The Chinese can change. They can become also another another hegemonic power. That's why we need to strengthen ourselves to build a united Africa, to build the common market of Africa, to build even the political integration of Africa, of some parts of Africa, so that Africa is not a low pressure area, an area where there is a vacuum of power. We need power here.
Because at the moment, like the region, the stability is very, very fragile. If you look at the neighbors of Uganda, it's quite difficult. Congo is in trouble. You have South Sudan is in trouble.
And that's
how much is there a threat to your country as well, and how much does it worry you that there is so much unrest in your neighborhood?
Of course, that's why we say that unrest is there. We know why. I have told you the history of Uganda, how for the last 60 years we have been involved in building capacity, which we have now. That's why Uganda is peaceful. And that's why we can subdue any challenge. And slowly, new forces will coalesce in Africa, which will create a center of gravity for Africa. Africa needs a center of gravity. We don't have a center of gravity now. This is part of the problem. In Europe, you have got some small countries, like Denmark, like Belgium, and so on, Luxembourg. But the whole Western civilization has got a center of gravity in the United States. The United States is the center of gravity of the Western system. What is our center of gravity? It must be created. It must be created. We cannot sit here and remain a perpetual vacuum. I think you use the word vacuum, yes, when there is emptiness, yes. A vacuum point on the globe. When there is no local power, everybody is coming. You are now worried about Chinese coming here. Why will they come? Because we are weak. That must be sorted out.
Where do you see this center of gravity in the future?
You keep tuned. You will hear about it.
We'll sit right here.
I don't know where it will be, but since you are a news hunter, you may get it one day. Africa must have a center of gravity. And if you were good friends, you would be working for that, not for small things, this one here, this small here. No. Because that's not what Africa lacks. Africa lacks a center of gravity. Africa needs to undergo socio-economic transformation. We need to be the middle class here, a middle class. Africa must become a middle class society, skilled working class society.
I'm a bit surprised that you're so critical about the West, the Europeans and the Americans. I mean, nonetheless, they give billions of euro to Uganda, billions of dollars, if I'm not mistaken. So isn't that something that should be appreciated?
Are you a Christian?
Yes.
Have you heard of the story of Esau?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
There is Esau, the one who sold his birthright in exchange for food. I'm not Esau to sell my birthright in exchange for food. Esau was a brother of Jacob, and he sold his birthright for food. You show him the quotation in the Bible about Esau. It will help him.
It's a nice metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
You were telling us that this is a continuous struggle since 60 years, and surely it will go on because things are not getting easier over the course of time. Not for now. And as we most likely believe, you can unfortunately not clone yourself. So possibly there one day, latest in 2035, there will be another leader. So who would you wish to be your successor, and what do you wish this person to do?
Well, that is a settled question, because the Constitution of Uganda shows how leaders are elected. A member of parliament is elected like this. District chairman is elected like this. President is elected like this. So we are not short of how to get a leader. The only thing would be in the contest of ideas, to get leaders who will continue the line of our movement. Because our line, our movement, believes in 4 principles: patriotism. That means we don't believe in sectarianism. We believe in unity of the people of Uganda. Pan-Africanism. We believe in Pan-Africanism. Like Bismarck was part of the Pan-German movement. Pan-German, that movement.
Is there anybody you see who has the potential to follow you?
Let me first finish the principles. The Bismarck, his Pan-Germanism was in conflict with the French, who wanted to keep German divided. That's how you had the war of 1870, the Franco-Prussian War of 1870. Our principle number 3 is socio-economic transformation. What you are talking about, what you call informal sector, must change, must be fully monetized. And then democracy. Democracy is number 4 in our principles. So therefore, the one whom I would want to succeed me would be the one who follows those principles. And we shall struggle for it politically by convincing our people that our candidate is better than the other candidates. So that method of how to choose leaders is in place. It's not a problem at all.
Do you have anybody in particular in mind?
Not
perhaps,
at all.
Perhaps
not
your
at all.
son?
Not at all. My people know all the cadres. All our people know the leaders we have, and they'll select the one who is suitable.
I was reading this quote of you the other day, and also Amanpour on CNN quoted you with a sentence you once said, that the problem in Africa, the biggest problem is that many of the rulers are in power for too long. And now you are here for
too long without elections, without competition. If you compete and you win, what is the problem? Because the people are there. Some of your leaders stayed for some time. Chancellor Adenauer, I don't know how many times he was around. Chancellor Adenauer.
3 times?
2 times. He was old.
Willy Brandt.
2 times.
Helmut Kohl was the longest governing chancellor, and he was in power for 16 years, so that's not even half of... Yeah.
But you don't have term limits in Germany. You don't have term limits.
We don't.
Yes. So what is the problem? The people will decide.
So as long as you say as long as there are elections, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, because we have got real serious issues.